So this is her name is and it starts with a Zoo. She's from Poland, and she's a well there or yeah there she is Ava Zoo Beck. Now she's from Poland, born in Poland. She's like a travel videographer or travel journalist and a travel blogger, now a YouTuber, all this and that. And this is the issue that I knew was going to happen. Is I saw her YouTube video, and I saw where she's going to go all these countries, and I barely saw it, maybe about a week ago. And she's from Mexico, or she started her trip in Mexico, and then it was going to go, but she's been to like 60, 70 countries. They claimed, and she's going to go from Mexico all the way to Alaska and back. And I thought, well, but she does that, she has to go through Texas, right? Or that the part that she's going is going to go through Texas. So I said, me thinking about it, because I know all these places. I know Houston, Galveston, Corpus Christi. We can go on and on. Paris, Corsicana, Amarillo, Lubbock, Odessa, Midland, Marfa, Fort Stockton, El Paso, Texas. And I know there's places I'm missing throughout there, but I'm just Dallas, Fort Worth, all Waco, all that stuff. I know I've been to every city out in Texas, and I was born in Los Angeles, California, but I have family in Texas, Minnesota, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. So this is the thing. I've been throughout all that area. Now she's from Poland, coming to Texas, and I knew she's going to do this. I knew this video's coming out, and this is what I did not want. Is her to stereotype Texas, which she's gonna do, and she's already doing it. And of course, she talks to this,
entire state south to north.
See, if you think Texas looks like a desert and that's it, who's out there? Do you see any people out here? That's a stereotype about Texas. Why didn't she go on I-10? Why did she take Route 60? Now I just don't understand why she's taking all these back roads. Like another one that I forgot, Eden, Texas. These are places that are drive-through cities. You don't go there to get the Texas. It's a small town. That's all it is. We can talk about New Mexico. We can talk about Arizona. But if you look, there's no population there. There's no one there. There's no residents. So Texans do not live out here in 100,000 acres of nothingness. There's people that don't, that's just land there. So Texans, the residents, now of course there's ranchers, there's farmers. Don't tell me about that, because my grandparents, they had a farm. And my mom, when she was young, until she was about 16, 17, or a teenager, they didn't even go into the city until then. So don't tell me about that stuff. She knew about that. Planting, pecan trees, she had horses, cows, did all that farm stuff. She told me all of it. I understand. Guns and this and that. I understand that part. If you're out there, out there in the ranch, out there on farms, you got to have safety. You don't know, especially women. Okay, I understand that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that are from different countries that come into Texas and then say, let's just find out what this, is it about racism? Is it about gun control? Is it bigger in Texas? All this stuff, is it cowboys? All this stuff is stereotypes. Yes, some areas have it. But you go to a lot of different places, it'll be a majority, a little bit more. But all this is stereotypes.
I meet fascinating people who give me all kinds of advice.
I say, you've gotten this far, don't leave here without a...
See, like him, obviously him saying this stuff. These are people that are, a lot of it's 50-50. You don't know if they're just making this up for, to be on TV or to be in a YouTube video. Of course, people say stuff. Or he could really mean it. It doesn't matter, though. Because a lot of people don't agree with that. And he'll say something like, oh, you can't leave Texas without getting a gun here. That's all that's how farmers and ranchers talk. You know what I mean? That's what they're about, but that's not what Texans is about. I don't know how. I went to school in Texas. I went to school in California. I went to school in New Mexico. None of them thought that was cool to be carrying guns around, and a lot of them had choices because, especially at your age, it's legal to carry firearms, not concealed, but it's legal to wear a firearm and as long as you have the permits and registration and you have all that information, right? So it's legal. And guess what? All the kids that I went to high school with that said they were going to do all that never did. And their older brothers and sisters and their parents never did. So this is what I mean. People say stuff that's not true, and I knew this is gonna be a bad rap on Texas, and that's why, people that come to the state say stuff like that, and it's just not right. You interview people that may not even be living in Texas. They may not even live here. They may just be just like you. You're just traveling through Texas. They may not even. You stop at a roadside. You don't know these people.
All American stereotypes, cliches, and adventure.
And cliches and adventure. I mean, this right here looks like probably in between Midland or Odessa. I mean, this is just. These are places where stereotypes can live at, and it was a really big hot button issue with me because, she could easily reach out to. Why did you take that route? Why didn't you go on I-10, pass through some of these actual big cities, instead of hiding behind just desert? You're just behind desert. That's all you're doing is behind desert, and nobody's out there. I don't know if there's like a social ability where, because I invite you to my city, and you can call me, or have your managers call me, and we'll talk it out. Because see, making videos like this when there's people that live here, good people, hardworking people that live here, and you get to go 3 hours. This is what I call fake news. People that just like our local news. There was an accident, and I was in line. I saw the truck. What happened is jackknife. Once a jackknife. We were there for 4 hours. The news finally comes in, and they said, "Oh yeah, it was just a short 1 hour thing, and that it was cleared up." And they didn't even mention the jackknife. They said, "Oh, it's just a truck that stalled," and I was like, you guys are lying, and you lie about a lot of stuff, and they lie about a lot of stuff, and that's not even true. How would this woman know? Driving through Texas for 2 days, driving through Texas. How is she going to know all this information? How is she going to drive through Texas and do what? And what are you going to see? You won't see much for 4 to 5 hours. The route that she took. I can guarantee you, all you're going to see is just this road, just desert and a highway. Desert and a road, and that's it. So to say the essence of Texas, it's absolutely incorrect. But I have a few minutes here, so we're going to continue. I'm going to think about some stuff because this is really a hot button issue with me. Is when you have people that are residents here and don't talk to the residents, or like I said, you can email me. You can call me. Your manager can. Your company, your magazine, your whatever you work for, they can call. And it's just not correct. And to make news like this and then post it, oh, well, Texas, is it bigger in Texas? The food, is it racism? Is it gun control? All this stuff. How are these people going to know if how long do they live here? And look at the location they're at. Are they the ones that are by themselves in a small town of 100 people? Because look at the majority of Texas is not in a small town with 100 people. The majority of Texas is in Houston, Dallas, El Paso, Corpus Christi, San Antonio. These are places where that's the majority of Texas. Houston, Austin. And this is what I mean. So you're asking people that are not even in Texas, the city, you're asking people out in the farmlands. Well, of course you're going to get completely different answers. People that don't associate themselves with the community. What do they call that? What they those people that don't like interacting with other people. And I know the word too. introverts, right? Not an extrovert. Well, of course, if you talk to introverts, they want to be alone. That's their life, which is okay. That's great for them. But why are you asking them like it's their words of? It's like me asking Ellen a gay question. Ellen does not represent LGBTQ. Caitlyn Jenner does not represent them. Amber Heard does not represent abuse.